What does a woman do when her husband goes on national television and brags about sleeping with 100 other women? Dorothea Hurley found out in April 2024. She had been married to Jon Bon Jovi for 35 years. She had given up a career as a nationally ranked karate champion. She had raised 4 children while he toured the world. She had chosen his dream over her own every single time. And then she watched him sit across from Michael Strahan, smile at the camera, and say the words that would define their entire marriage. But Dorothea did not file for divorce. She did not give an interview. She did something nobody expected. Let me take you back to Sayreville, New Jersey. 1980, Dorothea Hurley was not some wide-eyed groupie waiting outside a concert venue. She was an athlete, a serious one. She had been training in karate since she was a teenager, winning junior championships, building towards something. By 1999, she would be ranked the 4th best green belt in the entire United States. By 2002, she would hold a 4th-degree black belt. This was a woman with her own dreams, her own ambitions, her own path. And then she fell in love with a boy who wanted to be a rock star. That decision would cost her everything she had built. Jon Bon Jovi has told this story many times, how he sat behind her in history class, how he was immediately drawn to her, how she was smart and beautiful, and did not seem impressed by him at all. He has said in interviews that he saw her and thought, that is the one. And he was right. She was the one. She just did not know yet how much being the one would cost her. They started dating in high school. While other couples went to prom, Jon and Dorothea went to a concert where his band was opening for Southside Johnny in front of thousands of people. She picked his dream over a normal teenage experience, and that would become the pattern for the next 4 decades. In 1985, they broke up briefly. Jon started dating actress Diane Lane. For 5 months, Dorothea watched from the sidelines while her high school sweetheart dated a movie star. But when that relationship ended, Jon came back, and Dorothea took him back. Then came 1989. Bon Jovi was one of the biggest rock bands on the planet. The New Jersey Syndicate Tour was selling out stadiums worldwide. Jon could have had anyone, models, actresses, the women who threw themselves at the stage every night. Instead, in the middle of that tour, he and Dorothea flew to Las Vegas. They walked into the Graceland wedding chapel, and with no fanfare, no celebrity guests, no magazine deal, they got married. That should have been the fairy tale ending. High school sweethearts who stayed together, the rock star who chose love over temptation. But anyone who has ever loved someone in the spotlight knows that the wedding is not the ending. It is the beginning of a very different kind of test. And what happened next would test Dorothea in ways she never imagined. Here is what Jon Bon Jovi missed while he was getting away with murder. Stephanie Rose Bon Jovi was born in 1993. Jesse James Lewis in 1995. Jacob Hurley in 2002. Romeo Jon in 2004. 4 children in 11 years. And for most of that time, their father was on a tour bus somewhere between Chicago and Los Angeles. Jon has admitted this himself. He missed birthdays. He missed school plays. He missed the everyday moments that make up a childhood, but someone had to be there. Someone had to drive carpool and check homework and sit in the audience at school recitals. Someone had to explain to 4 children why daddy was always on the news, but never at the dinner table. That someone was Dorothea. She made a choice. She could have continued competing in karate at the national level. She could have built her own career, her own identity, her own spotlight. Instead, she became a karate instructor in New Jersey so her children could have stability. She taught other people's kids while raising her own, while her husband's face was on posters in teenage bedrooms across the world. And while she was doing all of this, while she was holding down the home front and raising 4 children and putting her own ambitions on hold, what was Jon doing? Getting away with murder. His words, not mine. But here is the part that makes this story different from every other rock star marriage. In April 2024, Jon Bon Jovi sat down with Michael Strahan for an ABC special called Halfway There. The documentary Thank You Goodnight, The Bon Jovi Story, had just dropped on Hulu, and Jon was doing the promotional rounds. And for some reason, he decided to be honest. I got away with murder, he said. I will say it again on camera. I am a rock and roll star. I am not a saint. I am not saying there were not 100 girls in my life. I am Jon Bon Jovi. It was pretty good. 100 girls? Not a few mistakes. Not a rough patch. 100. Now picture Dorothea at home with the children. Picture her watching entertainment news and seeing photos of her husband surrounded by women at every tour stop. Picture her knowing and choosing to stay anyway. Jon tried to soften the blow in the same interview. He said he would never jeopardize his marriage. He said believing his own narcissism would be stupid. He called it excess he did not need. But confessions have consequences. Once the words leave your mouth, you cannot take them back. 100 girls? That is not a mistake. That is not a moment of weakness. That is a pattern that lasted decades. And what happened next tells you everything about who Dorothea Hurley really is. And here is the part nobody talks about. What does it feel like to hear your husband say those words on national television? The cameras were not on Dorothea. There was no interview asking how she felt. No journalist following up to get her side of the story, but anyone who has ever been betrayed knows exactly what that moment must have felt like. The nausea that hits before your brain catches up, the heat rising in your chest, the way your hands go cold even though your face is burning, watching someone you have given everything to smile at a camera and treat your sacrifice like a punchline. Think about the nights, the ones where sleep would not come no matter how tired she was, lying in bed in a mansion most people can only dream of, staring at the ceiling, doing the math. 100 girls. How many was that per tour? Per album cycle? Per year of her marriage? The math never stops once you start it. Think about the mornings. Waking up and having to put on a face for the children, making breakfast, driving carpool, acting like everything was fine, while entertainment shows played clips of her husband's confession on a loop, smiling at other parents at school pickup while wondering if they had seen it, if they pitied her, if they thought she was a fool for staying. And the loneliest part? She could not talk to anyone about it. Not really. Because who would understand? She was not allowed to complain. She had the money, the houses, the life everyone envied. A billionaire's wife crying about her husband's infidelity sounds like a problem most women would trade for. So she kept it inside, smiled at foundation events, stood on red carpets, played the role she had played for 35 years while something inside her was quietly breaking. 35 years, 4 children, a karate career she walked away from, and he sat there bragging about how good it was. A week after that interview aired, there was a screening for the documentary in New York City. Jon walked the red carpet alone. Dorothea was not there. The tabloids went wild. Was she angry? Had she finally had enough? Was this the beginning of the end for America's favorite rock and roll marriage? A spokesperson for Dorothea eventually told Page Six that she had tested positive for COVID and could not attend. Maybe that is true, but you know what is also true? She had been at the UK screening just a week earlier, standing beside him, smiling for the cameras, playing the role she had played for 35 years, and then her husband went on national television and bragged about 100 girls, and suddenly she was too sick to stand next to him. You can believe whatever you want about the COVID story, but anyone watching this knows what absence means. Sometimes being sick is just a convenient way of saying, I cannot look at you right now. But what Dorothea did next surprised everyone. Here is what makes Dorothea Hurley different from so many women in her position. She did not leave. She did not go to the tabloids. She did not write a tell-all book or do a tearful interview about being betrayed. Instead, she built something. In 2011, Dorothea and Jon opened JBJ's Soul Kitchen in Red Bank, New Jersey. It is a restaurant with no prices on the menu. If you can afford to pay, you pay. If you cannot, you volunteer an hour of your time instead. No one is turned away. No one is made to feel ashamed. Jon gets the credit because his name is on the building. But Dorothea is the founder and program director. She is the one who built the operational structure. The menus, the volunteer programs, the community partnerships. She is the one who does all the work. Those are Jon's words, not mine. As of today, JBJ Soul Kitchen operates at 5 locations across New Jersey. They have served tens of thousands of meals to people who might otherwise go hungry. And while Jon was out being a rock star, Dorothea was quietly building something that actually helps people. He got the fame, she got the work, and that pattern tells you everything about what this marriage really cost her. In another interview, Jon was asked about the secret to their long marriage. His answer was telling. Every day is a challenge and change, he said. But if you are growing together, hopefully things will work out. Every day is a challenge. That is not the answer of a man who thinks his marriage is easy. That is the answer of a man who knows he has put his wife through things few people would tolerate. He also called their relationship a mutual admiration society. He said he wakes up excited to be with her. He said she is not afraid to call him out, but she is also there when he falls. And there it is, the real job description. Dorothea Hurley is not just Jon Bon Jovi's wife. She is the woman who calls him out and then catches him when he falls. She is the one who held the family together while he was touring the world. She is the one who raised 4 children while he was getting away with murder. She is the one who built a charity empire while he was doing interviews about how many girls he had been with. In 2016, Jon gave an interview where he said something that tells you everything about this marriage. "It felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders," he said. "Without her, I am not sure how I would have coped." A lot of these things added up, and a snowflake became an avalanche. Without her, I am not sure how I would have coped. This is a man worth over $400 million, a man who has sold over 100 million records, a man whose face is one of the most recognized in rock and roll history, and he is admitting, publicly, that without Dorothea Hurley, he would have fallen apart. So what exactly did she give up to keep him together? Her karate career. Her 20s and 30s and 40s spent as support staff for someone else's dream. Birthdays alone with the children while their father played another stadium. Watching entertainment shows and wondering which of the 100 girls was this week. Explaining to her kids why daddy said what he said on television. Standing on red carpets with a smile while knowing exactly what happened on tour. She gave up the chance to be known for herself. To this day, the world knows her only as Jon Bon Jovi's wife. Not as the 4th-ranked karate master in the United States. Not as the founder of a restaurant empire that feeds the hungry. Not as the woman who single-handedly kept a family functioning while her husband was living on a prayer. Jon Bon Jovi got to be Jon Bon Jovi. Dorothea Hurley got to be the woman who made that possible. But there is one more part of this story you need to hear. In the Thank You Goodnight documentary, Dorothea appears briefly. She talks about meeting Jon in high school, how he was cute with beautiful blue eyes, how she saw the potential and the drive in him before anyone else did. She does not talk about the 100 girls. She does not talk about the missed birthdays or the lonely nights or the decades of sacrifice. She smiles and tells a sweet story about high school and lets her husband have his moment. That is who Dorothea Hurley is. A woman who has spent 40 years in the shadow of a spotlight, keeping the darkness to herself so the show could go on. Jon said he got away with murder, but maybe the real story is that Dorothea let him get away with it, not because she was weak, not because she did not know, but because she made a calculation that most of us will never have to make. She weighed the life she wanted against the price she would have to pay, and she decided that staying was worth it. 40 years, 4 children, 100 girls, 5 restaurants that feed the hungry, and a confession on national television that said everything she never had to. Dorothea Hurley did not just survive being married to one of the biggest rock stars on the planet. She held the family together, built a charity empire, and raised 4 children, while the man she loved was getting away with murder. And when his own words finally exposed the truth, she did not complain, did not give interviews, did not write a tell-all book. She just kept building. She did not say a word against him. She did not have to. His own confession said it all. If this story made you think about the women who sacrifice in the shadows, make sure you are subscribed. We have another story coming that you will not want to miss.